Welcome to Reading and Math Inc., the payroll overview for exempt employees. Our agenda will be going over the CBIZ overview on the website, staff payroll FAQ and best practices, timesheet completion, and time off requests. When you log into CBIZ, this will be the home page that you will see. You will see a My Profile, which will have your information in here. You can also upload a photo if you wish to do so. My company information, this will list our address, our headquarter location, as well as any contact info, which are the administrators of the CBIZ website. Announcements are listed below. These will be announcements from the organization that may contain things about COVID-19, federal state labor law posters and notices, or benefits re-enrollment, other such messages from the company. Under My Workspace, we have workflows, which we are currently not using. If we click on Change Events, you'll be given a list of events that you can make changes to. This could be address, it could be benefits if you are eligible, it could be tax selection. You just click on the event that you want and then begin event, and it will bring you through a series of steps thereafter. Under benefit statements, this is a document that we are required to provide under the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. If you are eligible for benefits, it will show, and you have chosen to enroll or waive, it will show any costs that are associated if you have enrolled. And those costs would show you any per pay period costs, if it's pre-tax or post-tax, which benefits for, any contribution coverages, and then covered dependents. It is merely for your own record keeping. We will be going over time and labor last. I would like for us to go through the quick links, documents, and company links. Under quick links, you'll find the employee directory. You can search for employees by last name, first name, departments, as well as position title. There is a paycheck stubs link. You'll click on this, and it will give you the last 2 to 3 months of pay stubs. It is going to be a white document that shows kind of like a PDF right over in this section under pay date. When you click on that document, it will list all of your earnings, your deductions. We encourage all of our employees to look at their pay stubs to ensure the proper amount of taxes are coming out, that if they have benefits, those deductions are coming out, and of course ensuring your overall pay is accurate. If you need to go back further than the 2 to 3 months, you can click on the filter button up here, and that will allow you to change the date and go back as far as you need and click filter, and it would bring up any pay stubs. This is a sample employee, so they do not have any pay stubs. Next, going down, there is a direct deposit link here as well as we saw in the change events. You can click here too, and if you'd like, you can go ahead and you'll create a direct deposit record, and it would bring you through the next series of steps. We have an emergency contacts link. This link will allow you to update or change any of your emergency contacts at any time. To create one, you'll just click on create, and it'll bring you through the steps. If you want to delete a record, you will just go ahead and choose the record you'd like to delete, click delete, selected records, and then that emergency contact would be removed. Learn about your benefits if you are eligible. This will allow you to see a very short summary of the benefits for our medical plans. and their monthly costs. The amounts listed here are monthly costs. Under links, we do have the Reading and Math Inc. Website here. We have our organizational chart. These will all open into a new tab so that you can go back to where you were after looking at the information. Next, we have documents, and we have company links. We're going to just look at company links here, and we can see office locations, HR newsletters, the employee handbook. Again, I encourage all of our employees to read the employee handbook, specifically as it relates to your time off requests, whether it's PTO or sick and safe time, and the rules surrounding any time off. With that, we have more documents, which brings us to our staff timesheets, FAQs, and best practices. So we'll open that up. It is going to open into a new window here. So, Reading and Math Inc. Timesheet FAQs and best practices. Do all staff need to complete timesheets? Yes, all salaries and wages charged to grants must be supported by approved timesheets. Should I complete my timesheet daily or wait until the end of the pay period? The best practice is daily for accurate reporting. Hours should not be reported on a timesheet in advance of the workday. May I submit my timesheet early? No, hours must be reported after the hours have been worked to ensure accuracy. The only allowable exception is planned leave. So this might be that you are planning to have the day off or taking time off that day. Then if the timesheets are due on that day, we would want you to go ahead and submit your timesheet if you will be off on that day. If my position supports multiple grants, may I use budgeted amounts or estimated fixed percentages for my timesheet allocation? No, this is an adequate documentation to support the charges to the grants. The hours must reflect actual work activity and not budgeted. Who do I contact if I'm given work direction for a grant that is not on my timesheet? Your supervisor should speak with the finance director to determine any changes on a case-by-case basis. Who can you contact about other issues like saving or submitting your timesheet? You can contact your supervisor or the payroll specialist. Why is it important to accurately complete timesheets based on actual work activity? We want to make sure with making sure that we are effectively managing our costs, being able to forecast future costs. We also want to be in compliance with our federal grant requirements and other state funding requirements. We also want to be able to submit accurate reports to these funders. We don't want to be in a position to have to pay back funds or have an audit finding. So the best practices for timesheet preparation will be recording our time allocations daily, actual hours worked, round to the nearest quarter hour, and making sure that we do not submit the timesheet until the end of the pay period. Double check your time for accuracy before submitting. We will now look at the staff payroll calendar. Again, it will open up into a PDF, a new window. So the payroll calendar does show in purple is when the pay period has ended for the 2-week time frame. So if we're looking at this date on the 26th, the pay period runs from June 13th through the 26th, with timesheets needing to be submitted and approved on the 25th, and then the payday for that pay period would be July 2nd. Likewise, our holiday schedule, if you are eligible, the holidays are in yellow. We will now go over to time and labor to complete the timesheet and also look at how to do a time off request. You'll click on View Manage Time for your timesheet. The pay period that is in the current pay period, it will always be highlighted in orange. You'll click on that. And some employees may have one cost center, others might have multiple cost centers or grants. They're synonymous. So you will want to talk to your supervisor if you do have multiple cost centers on your timesheet about how to best allocate those hours, what is a good method for keeping track of those hours. So also our cost centers, you can look at the description here. So Minnesota ERC, we can see that that stands for Minnesota Emergency Response Corps. We can begin filling out hours. And in this case, we're doing it from multiple cost centers. And you would continue filling out the timesheet daily, and each day you do need to save. So you click Save Timesheet. Once you've entered all hours for the timesheet period, which there is a 2-week period, so week 1 is here, and then you would need to click on week 2 to enter your hours into week 2. But once the timesheet is completed and you've entered all your hours for the 2-week pay period, if there are any comments, you can leave a comment. If you don't want to leave a comment, that's fine too. Check with your supervisor on their requirements. To add a comment, all you need to do is click on the date. It may be longer day training. You'll add that comment. You can also delete comments by selecting it, and then again from the drop down we can click delete. Once you're ready to submit your time card, you'll click on Submit Time Card. There will be an acknowledgement that you will read, and then there's a button that you need to click that says Submit Time Card. A pop-up box will appear, and you will click OK. Once you click OK, an email is going to be sent to your supervisor indicating that they have a timesheet pending. You'll also get a message right here saying it's been submitted successfully. And then once it's approved, you'll get another email back saying it's been approved. We can also now go to the time off request. When you come to your time off request table, the first thing you'll see is a summary of your time off, an accrual of any PTO or sick and safe time depending on what you're eligible for, floating holidays. You'll also have detail of your time off. So in this case, it's showing that there was some PTO that was accrued, and it was 4.62 hours, and then leaves you your balance. To do a time off request, we are going to go ahead and add, we'll choose May 25th. We're going to add the selected dates. We will then, for exempt employees, you need to do your time off requests for floating holiday, PTO, etc. in increments of 4 or 8 hours. So in this case, we will do 4 hours, and we will select floating holiday. If you want to leave a comment, again, you can, but you don't have to. Then you can submit the request, and likewise, an email is going to be sent to your supervisor indicating they have a time off request pending approval, and once it's been approved, you will get an email back saying it's been approved. this is the end of our time here. If you do have questions related to the timesheet or time off requests, go ahead and email us at payroll@servetogrow.org. Welcome to Reading and Math Inc.